No, it was supposed to say something else. I tried to change my name.
Oh.
I mean, that's also rude, but that's not what I was going to say. God damn it. It's so hard to do.
Well, what you were going to say decidedly more rude?
No, not really. It was, if anything, just funny.
I've only had one sip. Oh my God, my words are already gone. It is going to be that kind of night, peoples. I have cheese.
Oh my God.
I got a little sampler of scotch to try. So I've got Loch Lomond. Oh, I opened the 18. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. The 18, the 12, and the original. To try? That's really nice. We have a hand, so you will occasionally hear some side comments and snide remarks. Apparently, my husband thinks I'm trying to kill him.
I have had one.
You know, while I'm manifesting to win that 40 million Tats Lotto tonight, manifesting it. Isn't that what they say to do? Manifest it?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was visualise the win.
Yeah, that is manifesting.
Visualise the win, Jesse. Visualise the win.
Oh, we've got one. Ah.
Welcome to the stream, bot.
Yeah. Bot.
Yeah, we got a bot.
You know what else we got?
I'm going to block that user because I can.
We've also got
goats. So is it? Has your mum actually named them?
Oh, they've got names. I just can't remember them. They had names when we got them. So the one without horns I know is called Rosie because that's the mum, and then there's one called Quinny, but I'm not sure which one it is. And then there's one called something else. No, I can't remember what it is.
You know what? I was thinking today, there is a small positive with this Omicron variant that's going around the world at the moment. It means that other countries will lock down, and Melbourne might not be the longest lockdown.
We might lose our title.
Well, positives. Trying to see positives here, people. Considering our police seemed intent on getting us all sick.
Yeah. Your mouth is absolutely full. At the moment, and so the cheeks are both just like.
That's like me with cheese at the moment.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a very light dinner, so I'm sort of like finishing off dinner by snacking on all my cheese.
I only just had dinner, and it was not light. So I might have to wait a while before hitting the cheese.
Are you too skinny? Did Mum try to feed you up?
Oh, no. I just ate a lot of stir fry.
A lot of what?
Stir fry.
Oh, yeah.
Watching this goat, and I was like, oh, my mouth's empty again. And then you see the bulge come up the throat and back into the side of the cheek and just start chewing again.
Hello, Sage.
That's gotta be one of the most bizarre things ever.
I'm assuming you're talking about Charlotte staring at the goat and not me shoving my face full of cheese. Because both of them moves.
Probably. Both.
Oh dear. It's been really hot today, so I haven't actually really had the chance. I haven't really eaten a lot. So now that it's starting to cool down, I'm starving.
I gotta show you guys this. She's just sat there. I wonder if she'll do.
I didn't think there was a thing about. I didn't think it was possible to eat too much stir fry.
Oh, I managed it. Well, maybe not too much, but definitely capacity.
Best
She's gonna do it.
Best stir fry I ever had. It was technically not even stir fry. It was it was in Singapore. It's where they bring out the big sort of boiling pot and you chuck in all your food. Oh, can't think of the name of it at the moment. Damn, that's good.
That's just...
Oh, gorgeous.
Oh, I think she's gonna do it again. No, she was just okay.
When you're settled up there, I'll have to bring the kids up to the farm so they can run around like crazy.
Yeah, do it in blackberry season. There we go.
Sorry?
Do it in blackberry season.
Oh yeah.
I just want to see their little faces. They'll be covered just in purple. It'll be hilarious.
Yeah, she's starting to get interested in food now. So yeah.
We took my nephew last year, and he just had blackberries just everywhere. It was adorable.
Hi, Binary. Hope you're well. So hungry, the thought of eating makes you noisy. I got to that point today, and I was cooking dinner. It's not easy to cook dinner when everything makes you feel sick because from the smell. It's okay.
Oh look, the goat has decided to photo book the sunset.
So that one's Rosie?
That's Rosie, yeah. It's the camera is focusing on the sunset though, and not the goat. There we go, there's the goat.
Welcome to our end of year stream where we get very distracted by goats.
Yeah. I could go get my ukulele as well.
Oh yeah, serenade in the new year.
Actually, that would be a really fun YouTube video to do while I'm here. Just do either a cover or a song on ukulele with the sunset while the goats are coming and sniffing the ukulele, trying to work out what's going on. They would. They totally would. Damn, it's a good one tonight.
So guys, we're just having a chat stream tonight. Saying goodbye to Vlognarok.
I didn't finish editing the first of the last videos that I filmed for that.
I will have one more video come up tomorrow, which will be obviously the last 3 days vlog.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much me whinging about being too tired, not getting much done, and the kids not napping. So, you haven't missed much, guys.
Yeah.
But that'll go up, and then that's it for me. I'm done. I'm going to spend the next month. Oh, it's Arwen. I'm going to spend the next month working on my books and trying to get everything done before I go back to work.
Yeah, and I will be spending the next few months finishing up at work and moving back here. Hey, Rosie. Yeah.
No worries, Sage. Oh, Rosie. Groceries are important. Yeah, she's going to build it. Charles going to build a tiny home. Oh, studio. Yeah. Well, you're going to do the basement first.
I'm going to do the basement first, and then I'm going to try and do the cabin next year. But
yeah, But what you learned from converting the basement's going to come in handy for the cabin.
It'll be cheaper too. It'll just be
Yeah.
a matter of whether I have enough money by next year to do the
Mm.
cabin as well.
Mm. So, 2021, the year that felt like it didn't happen. Oh,
Why you do that? That was mean.
oh, my ear. Leave me alone. Yes, 2021, the year that felt like it never happened.
Mm. Yeah. Oh no, mozzies.
Nope, you'll be moving soon.
I'm gonna be eating mine.
Mozzies. Every so often, I have to update David on what you're saying because he can't quite hear you. So that's why I'm repeating what you're saying.
Oh no, that's okay. I figured that was the case.
Mm.
I don't know who the other one is, but I think, oh yeah, she's up the hill on the chain because she kept breaking out of the fence.
Oh.
Only these two right here. The other one's like got a tether up the hill with a bucket of water. Dad moves her every day. Oh, we got
My
another
blue
one.
cheese is sweating, and I'm not entirely certain I want to try it. I love blue cheese, but
NC site.
do you see it? It's sweating.
Oh.
I'm not entirely certain I want to risk it. Now, I mean, seriously, it's blue cheese. It's got mold in it anyway.
But what kind of mold is it?
Oh, look. Oh, we've made it. I've made it, Char. I've made it. I've got 2 bots in the one stream. This girl's made it. I've made it to the big time, people. Mm-hmm.
We'll know when it's going viral when the third one shows up in 10 minutes.
Or it's just that there's not many people streaming on New Year's Eve because they're off doing social things.
Probably, yeah.
But let's face it, even before I had kids, my favourite kind of New Year's was to sit at home and eat cheese on my own and go to bed early. So, you know, I can't exactly blame kids for that one.
I like being able to determine my own bedtime.
Yes.
And not get to 2 a.m. and be like, oh, I want to go to bed now. And everyone still wants to keep partying for another 2 hours.
Well, I was going to say, I like to determine my own bedtime, even if it means I start writing at 11 o'clock and I look at the clock at 4 a.m. and go, oh, shit, I have to work tomorrow.
Sitting here and chatting and the goat goes, ooh, ooh.
Nice blue cheese.
So,
it is a little sweaty, so I'm not going to eat much of it, but it's quite nice.
If she doesn't have any more streams, then she's dead and not back to bury her.
Why? Oh, because of the blue cheese?
Yeah.
He's worried that I'm going to get, you know, some kind of disease from eating mold. I haven't quite broken to him that even tasty cheese is made using mold.
Yeah, don't tell him about the bacteria that's on your feet.
Oh, I hate feet.
It's the same bacteria in cheese.
Okay. Random side thing here. How can people have feet fetishes? Seriously, feet are horrible.
Maybe they're just really, really, really into cheese.
Oh. I'm sorry, but what is it with feet fetishes, people? I mean, I keep them clean, I keep the nails neat, but I don't like them touched. Ooh. Sorry. Supposed to be doing client work on New Year's Eve. Didn't you have the week off, Sage? Well, I I guess though I've answered my own question. No rest for the wicked, huh?
No. Nope.
Mm.
Mm.
Ooh,
David's just found something exciting.
ooh, English true web.
Okay, yeah, that's coming out tomorrow. We'll have to go see it.
Mm.
Yeah. We'll okay, book some tickets. We'll go see it.
Spider-Man?
Ghostbusters. I'm
Uh,
actually really excited for Ghostbusters.
there's a new
I
Ghost.
really, yeah, okay. So when the one with the women came out, I was really excited for it. But my big thing was I wanted it to be a continuation. So I wanted it to be a 20 years down the track, one of the nieces or something discovers ghosts and that. It wasn't. It was a reboot. And in my mind, that's what made it fail because you cannot reboot Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And then, so this one, it's called Afterlife, I think. And it actually is a continuation. It's like the grandchildren of Igor. Egon. I call him Igor. Egon
Oh,
actually like find a whole heap of Ghostbusters kit and all that stuff, and chaos ensues. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I have no idea what movies are out anymore. Like, I think the last movie I went to actually see was maybe Black Widow, and that was months ago. And then before that, pre-pandemic.
Last thing we saw at the cinemas was not Endgame. The last thing we saw at the cinemas was what was the last one? Endgame? No, yeah, Endgame. In which I was extremely that was the last thing. That's the last movie we saw in the cinemas. Everything else we've watched at home via services. Because we've just
You did go to the drive-in, but that doesn't really count in my head.
we don't have a drive-in near us. I think even the Coburg drive-in's gone.
No.
Is the drive-in Coburg running?
Yeah.
Well, wasn't there used to be an Epping one? I used to think there was an Epping one, but yeah, we don't have anything close enough.
Yeah, there's one in I think it's Dandenong.
Okay, well, I shoved my face full of cheese for a few minutes there, so I feel great and ready to go for another hour. And then I'll go get more cheese.
Oh my god, it's like not even 9 o'clock and I'm already yawning.
Yeah, we're keeping you awake, honey.
I didn't get that nap earlier.
Oh, I did. It was great. It was glorious. And then Mark woke up about an hour into it and came crawling into bed next to me, and we had another good half hour before Morgan woke. It was great. Yeah. 3 lads are on a permanent contract. Yeah. I haven't been in cinema since I got married. Yeah. Wow.
That calls for creating your own cinema.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is a very valid reason to
But
go.
we have cinemas. We have cinemas, but to be honest with the kids, I'd probably rather go to a drive-through now because if Mike wants to, kill up and go to sleep, he can.
Yeah.
But because I remember doing that when I was a kid, Dad used to take us all to the cinema, all to the drive-ins. We used to go to the Dramana drive-in in summer every year, and because my nana used to live down in Dramana, and yeah, so I have fond memories of that. But I mean, the closest one we have is Coburg, and I honestly don't even know if it's open at the moment.
It might be, but you never know. I know
The problem is in summer for Australia, in Melbourne, it doesn't get dark till 10 o'clock at night. And then what? So you're going to watch it out in an open air theatre trying to watch a dark movie when the sun's glaring on the screen.
Yeah, and at the moment last time I went, they had restrictions on, like, you had to be in the car. You couldn't, like, bring chairs and sit outside.
Yeah.
Which was unfortunate because we were in my car and we realized very quickly that my car boot is very small when you have 3 people in it.
Yeah. I used to have a Ford Focus hatchback. That was the sedan. Which one was the hatch? Oh, it was a Honda Concerto. So it was the size of an Accord, but it looked like a Civic. So it was quite a good size, and it also had speed. It also had sports suspension in it, which made it great for cornering. Never speed. That does not mean you have to tap the brakes when you turn in the corner.
Someone needs to tell my dad this. He told me I was taking the corners too fast when I drove him home the other night. I was like, I was taking them perfectly responsibly. Thank you very much.
Pull the handbrake up on him and see how he reacts.
Oh, there's nothing better than handbrake turn. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So it's but yeah, the Civic, the Concerto was great though because it could almost go flat. I remember one year, so I had it when I was still a Rover, and one year for our God, what was it called? It was the district annual camp. I can't think of the name of it at the moment. And we all got up there, but because I worked that night, we got up there so late, we didn't have time to put the tent up. Oh, it's my mum sending me a Happy New Year's. I'll reply to her in a minute. And yeah, so we got up there at like 10 o'clock at night. It was pissing down rain. This was up in Bendigo somewhere. And we just went, fuck this for a joke. Dropped the back seat of my Concerto, pulled everything out and chucked it in the front, and just crashed in the Concerto. There was like 4 of us in the back. Happy New Year, Renee, David, Mark, and Morgan. XXX. Thank you, Mummy. Let me just reply to my mum.
Yeah, we went and saw Cruella a few months ago when that was out, I think. It might have even been like in between lockdowns. I don't know. It was ages ago. And then saw Black Widow and haven't seen anything since. I keep hearing good stuff about the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, so in fact, Daniel Green said in his sort of his fantasy news or something, I think it was, that he thought it was the second best Spider-Man after Into the Multiverse, the cartoon one.
Into the Spider-Verse?
Into the Spider-Verse, sorry, yeah. So it must be good. And they've just released a sequel for that. There's gonna be a sequel for that one, which is gonna be exciting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, Sage, I know you've been typing and I've been very rude and ignoring you.
It was a cinema who believes anything with magic.
No, Harry Potter, no Lord, nothing with magic. Oh, it's the devil's way. Oh, sounds like you moved to a lovely place. There's nothing wrong with blood, guts, and gratuitous sex. I mean, seriously, that's pretty much the entire novel.
I love that. They closed down.
I mean, I would have thought the sex would have gotten all the new kids, but, you know, who knew?
No fantasy, though. Sex without fantasy isn't much fun.
No, good point. So, yeah, what was I saying? Completely lost my train of thought, but that's okay. So the whole point of this stream is to say we survived Vlognarok. Well, I survived Vlognarok. You partly survived.
We got halfway there.
You're still here. You're still releasing videos occasionally.
I mean, I haven't done one all December, but I've got one edited a bit more today, and then I went into town with Mum, and we ended up being 4 hours, which was ridiculous, and I came back very grumpy and took a nap. Well, not really a nap. I just lay in bed watching YouTube videos for several hours.
You took a rest. You took a rest.
I took a rest, which wasn't even that restful. It was a brain people rest.
Hello,
goat. Hello, goat. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, that's what I was going to say, because we were talking about Daniel Green. Have you watched his latest one on The Witcher?
No, I don't really watch his stuff. I just sort of
Pops up occasionally.
couple yesterday. Although I did quite enjoy the couple that I watched, so I might watch it more.
Oh, I'm subscribed to his channel because I love his fantasy news.
Yeah.
But he did one. Just uploaded it like the last 24 hours called "The Witcher Needs to Be More Like Buffy" or something like that. And he's right. Because what he's saying is not the full camp down of the show, but just the not take itself so seriously sort of thing. And, sort of look a little bit at the structure a bit. And I thought, no, he's right. Because I enjoyed The Witcher. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed both seasons of The Witcher. I do think the second season is the better season of the two so far. But there is something missing in The Witcher. There is something just not quite there yet. And I think it does have something to do with the fact that in the games, you can screw someone whilst not being on the back of a stuffed unicorn. And The Witcher itself, and the Witcher TV series is just a little bit more serious than that.
Game right now.
Yes. I think that's the third one. But yeah, so I think he's right. I think the TV series is taking itself just that little bit too seriously at the moment. Although I must admit there was a callback to it in the new season. Because Jennifer tells Siri, I used to have a stuffed unicorn, and he goes, oh, what happened to that, by the way? And I'm like,
and he would know because he's a massive fucking Witcher nerd. Oh my god.
Yeah. So no, I did like that. So no, I actually agree with Dan Green on that one. I'm like, yeah, I think you're right. It just needs something a little. So, but his stuff that he's been doing on the Wheel of Time TV series is really interesting too. So,
I might watch it now that I've seen the whole series.
He's an absolute nutter for Wheel of Time, so he would know.
I did very much enjoy his his what your favorite fans like SFF author says about you.
I felt a little called out, to be honest.
It was like minorly call out, but also hilarious. And like
I'm sitting there going, Tolkien, Abercrombie, which I've really got to finish. I love him, and I've never even finished the book.
Yeah,
because I just love the way he writes. It's amazing.
My favourites on the list were Pratchett and Schwab.
Yeah,
and all three of those were so specific and so accurate that I was just like, oh my god. I love this Brandon Sanderson one. I was like, you like having a party, but like a small party where like only a small group of friends.
Have you seen his
mental illness depictions in the Cosby? I was like, oh yeah.
Have you seen his Brandon Sanderson Can't Stop Writing skit?
Yeah, I sent that to you.
Yeah. That was one of the ones you said. I'd seen it before.
It kept my recommended feed, and because it's like the clickbaity thing, I was like, if this is some sort of critique, I don't want to watch it. And then it auto played on my home screen, and I just started watching it. I was like, oh my god, that's fucking hilarious. And then I watched the whole thing. Yes, you get mentioned in the last vlog with quite simply, stop sending me distracting funny videos, Charlotte. You think that's bad? We're viral.
Yes, we're viral, people.
Woo!
Oh my god. They really must have nothing to do.
Well, my friend who doesn't check his messages necessarily checked them today, and I just got 20 dings in a row as he liked all of the reels that I'd sent him in the last week. And I was like, shit, I didn't realize there were so many till I scrolled back through. There was literally like 40 different funny reels that I just forwarded just teasing. Along with a couple of random messages. Oh dear.
Yeah,
was a
no,
lot.
it's all right, Sage. That's going to be me in about a month. Is I'm not going to have much time except to write, work, write, and feed children.
You've heard of trying to find a needle in a haystack, but have you ever tried to find a bobby pin in long dead grass?
Yeah, pop the champagne. I won't pop champagne, but I think I might try the next little scotch.
I dropped a bobby pin in the grass, and I was like, I found it. It's also like the same color as the grass.
Oh, jeez.
I am honestly surprised I found
Come
that.
on, Morgan.
Oh dear.
Sorry, she's screaming. I'm not entirely certain it's in her sleep.
That's okay.
No, it's in her sleep.
Oh,
No. She's not happy. Our aircon's not working in the kids' rooms. It's working everywhere else, but it's not working in the kids' rooms. So I've had to put her in the porta cot in our bedroom, and she's never been in the porta cot. So she's really not happy. But I've got no choice. It's like 35 degrees in her room. So, and we've got central evaporative cooling. So it's got to be something wrong with and it's working in the rest of the house. So it's got to be something wrong with the pipes.
Yeah, the
So, like, one of David or I are going to have to stick our head up in the roof over the weekend and try to figure out what's going on.
Fun times.
Yes.
I just catapulted a bobby pin into my pinky because I'm stupid, and it attached to the thing, and I went and let it go.
Yeah. I must admit though, Sage, I've been binging a lot lately because there's been a lot of series that I've really been waiting for, like Wheel of Time, Witcher,
Hawkeye.
Still haven't watched the last episode of Hawkeye yet because I've been waiting for David to be home. So we'll watch it this weekend.
Excuse you, David.
He's been busy earning the bacon, guys.
How rude.
He's not listening because he's watching an episode of Star Trek. The new one? What's the new one? It's Discovery. It's the new one.
I don't follow.
No, neither do I. I like the Star Trek movies, but I'm not interested in following the TV series, if that makes sense. I don't hate them. I just not interested.
I did see a very funny Star Trek meme today though, which was about first contact between the Vulcans and humans.
Oh god.
And the Vulcans it was imagine the Vulcans be they shake hands, and I think in Vulcan that's the equivalent of making out with someone. And them trying to pick an ambassador who'll be down just spontaneously make out with a human.
That says a lot for Spock's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the whole point of this stream is to chat about 2021.
Oh, what a year!
Do we really want to chat about 2021, or do we just want to forget it ever happened?
We'll split it in half, and then half of it we forget, and the rest of it we pretend was just a whole year.
Well, you see, I can't forget the first half because I managed to make a tiny human in the first half.
Oh no, I didn't mean in half by month. I meant literally split in half of all the good stuff we remember and all the lockdown we just pretend it never happened.
You know what though? I have to admit though, lockdowns weren't that bad for me. One, because I have a comfortable house. Two, because I was on mat leave anyway. So it was really just, for me, it was just a matter of waiting till I could see family and friends. And also 2, 3, well, my husband's job's very secure because he's essential. So we didn't have anywhere near the anxiety that other people had. So I sort of feel a bit sort of, how to put it? I feel like I can't turn around and say I hated it, because it was just like, well, for us, it was just, I was on mat leave anyway. I was going to barely leave the house regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Taylor had the same thing in 2020. Because she was on mat leave with Arthur.
Yeah.
Just
2020 was different because I was stuck at home and I didn't know I had a job.
I fucking dropped it.
He's just trying to escape.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, and it's darker now.
Yeah, if you manage to find her, you're coming over here to try to find the missing Lego pieces we dropped on the floor.
Oh no. I don't know if I'll find this one.
Yeah, Sage, been the same for me. Work remotely, my husband and me almost completely, work from home. Yeah, it's and I feel for people that have that huge anxiety. But I'm a homebody anyway. I'm very introverted regardless. So I'm quite happy to stay at home. In fact, it was great to have an excuse not to have to go to social gatherings.
I found it and then I dropped it again and then I found it.
Okay, Shah, you're coming over here for a weekend and you're helping us find all the missing Lego.
I mean, I might find it and lose it like 3 times before you get it back, but sure.
That's fine.
Oh, please go away.
It's going to be 36 tomorrow.
Gross.
You've got to fix the bloody aircon.
Oh my god.
We currently have both kids in our bedroom.
That does not sound fun.
Yeah. Oh, lifting of the curfew last night. Well, see, we're deep in that wave right now.
Yeah, we're fucked.
Well, I'm a bit concerned because have you noticed something about the numbers? They have not actually told us how many of these people actually have Omicron and don't have Delta for some time.
Yeah.
They've also changed the rules of a close contact here now. So a close contact has to be in a household or similar setting with said person for 4 hours before they're even notified that they are a close contact. Yet Omicron is apparently like someone breathes in your general direction and you can pick it up, sort of thing.
There seems to be a little bit of logic missing.
No, it's to me, well, okay. They're no longer going to be notifying people if they're potentially been in contact with someone that had it. Only if they are seriously been in contact, like 4 or more hours, so work or home or party or whatever. They are now saying that when you isolate, you don't have to go get a PCR test. You've got to go get one of those rapid tests. Have you tried to get a rapid test in our state?
I dropped it again. It's like a summary of 2021 in a metaphor.
I think so. So you can't even physically get the test that you need to take, and you rock up to the testing stations, and they say, "Well, you need to go on site, honey." You rock up to the testing stations and say, "I've been a close contact. I need to get a test," and they turn you away because you've got to get one of these rapid tests. And it's like, but I can't get a rapid test because there's none available.
Yeah, Woolies today had signs in every window saying no rapid antigen tests available.
So what do you do? the kids have been sick this week, just a cold. They gave it to me. So if I at any point wanted to get one of us tested so we could go to the doctor, so say Morgan got really bad because she had an ear infection. It was definitely an ear infection. So she got really bad to the point where she couldn't sleep. And I said, okay, I'm taking you to the doctor because, worried about eardrum rupturing or whatever. I would have had to get a test, and that would have had to come back negative before I go to the doctor. So by the time I got the test and it came back negative, it would have been 5-6 days late, or they would have turned me away because she wasn't a close contact of anyone. So she can't get a test. Well, I'm going to be honest. She's 7 and a bit months. I would have gone straight to the hospital with her if she got
ER at that point.
They test you when you're in emergency. So I've done that I did that with Mark for the first 6 months or so. Whenever he came down sick, I just went straight to the hospital and just said he's sick and I can't get to the doctors. And they tested him. He was fine. They treated him. We went home. It was they would rather you do that at the hospital than ignore it and potentially have something bad happen. But that's the law of unintended consequences, isn't it? If Mark gets really sick and I can't get him to the doctor, what's the first thing I'm going to do? Take him to the hospital. What's every other mother going to do? Take their child to the hospital.
And then the hospitals are overrun. Oh no, there's a shortage. And everyone's panicking. Yeah.
Everyone's losing their hairpins.
Yeah.
Anyway. That is Melbourne in a nutshell at the moment, people. You don't want to go out because you don't want to be exposed because no one knows they've got it because no one's actually going and getting tested.
Or everyone's going and getting tested, so they changed the criteria to tell everyone to stop getting tested.
But the whole reason everyone was going to get tested was so they could go away for the holidays. And the poor, I totally agree with the company. The company sort of came out the other day and just said, we warned the government of this 3 weeks ago. Insisting you have a test 72 hours out. But what I don't understand, oh my God, we're not only viral, we are seriously viral.
We are killing it.
No, you know what? It just means that no one else is streaming. Everyone else off doing fun things.
Live stream sunset.
Yeah, that is very pretty.
Oh.
But yeah, so that's Melbourne in a nutshell on the eve of 2022. But I actually pulled out because I thought it would be funny. I pulled out my goals. So do you remember what your goals were at the start of the year?
I do. Most of them, yeah.
There?
I do have them written down, just in a notebook that's at my other place.
Yeah. So what were your goals this year? What were your goals at the start of this year, Charlotte?
I did an entire 20-minute video going through them. So
did I.
Do you want to be here for 20 minutes, or do we want
to go for it? I need to get some ice in a minute. So
yeah, I'm considering. I just realized I've got a camera as well because I was like, oh damn, I can't film the sunset because I don't know. I'm using my phone, and I just realized I'm a fucking idiot. But goals. What were they? I'm gonna shift down here for a second.
That was very determined.
Oh, fuck it. Get balls, bloody silk. Stop staring. Sure, it keeps ripping. And it's a very, fragile silk shirt, so I don't want it to rip.
I like that, Sage. That was very, very clever.
That is a good one. That is a good one. Well, congratulations on succeeding your goal. My goals, what were they? So there was twofold. I'm kind of failing at the financial ones. Not entirely, just a little bit. Because I don't have much over my year worth of rent saved up to actually do renovations. which is hopefully going to change in the next 2 months because I still have a few more paychecks to squirrel away, which is good. So that was one of my goals. The cabin goal has been pushed to 2023 because now instead I'm doing downstairs basement of my parents' place and turning that into a flat and a studio.
Yeah.
Because that'll be more affordable, and also because it's on the main house, Mum is going to pay for some of the major construction costs.
And you don't have to worry about plumbing. You don't really have to worry about electricity.
Plumbing, electricity, yeah. So like just
You
getting
might have to adjust things, but you don't have to get stuff running to the building. Yeah.
Yeah. Just having solar on the cabin would cost about $5,000.
Yeah.
Just the little solar kit.
Yeah.
So
although IKEA's got one now.
IKEA has a solar kit?
And they have batteries too.
Well,
yeah.
then. I might have to look into that. I might have to go to IKEA again and look at their wonderful mattresses. I love that that's the last video I posted in recent history and then haven't posted anything for like a month. So that's just like the legacy leaving. Current legacy. Now. What was there? So I wanted to start a newsletter. I did that. Well, I haven't posted anything out in months. I drafted something lockdown 4, or was it 5, that is still in draft, and I've updated a couple of times. And I was going to send it out in lockdown 6, and then I didn't know it, and I was going to send out something for Christmas, and I didn't do that either. Anyway, I'm very bad at updating that, but I don't know. Time and lack of reminders are probably not in my favor there. What else was there? There was...
You had the goal to write a cabaret, did you not?
Yes, no, I was getting to that. I think there was something about a podcast as well, but I can't remember whether I included that or not.
Yeah, you started talking to someone about doing the podcast, but it sort of got delayed because of lockdowns.
It got delayed because of lockdowns. I was thinking I'll pick it up this coming year. Because now that the guild...
I think a lot of that. I think that's happened to a lot of us. Plans that we had for 2021, we've just sort of gone, it's not happening, do it next year sort of thing. I think has really happened a lot for a lot of people.
I can't remember whether it was on my original goals, but it was added shortly after, was learning, like teaching myself piano. And I mean, I really need to practice more, but I can now play piano relatively more than like a beginner level piano player. I can bash out some chords and play a bit of a Mac Palmer.
You're what I would like to call you're what I would call a confident beginner.
Confident chaotic.
That's what you're not afraid to start jumping. You're not afraid to jump on the keys.
Oh yeah. I never practice on my own.
Somewhere else. Got a vuvuzela out there.
Pressing stuff.
Can you hear that?
Hear what? I can hear crickets.
No, I think kids out on the front, out in the road have the the whistle things with the Oh, if they wake the kids, I'll kill them.
I did see them for sale in the $2 shop today, along with, oh my god, another Aussie. Now what else was there? Cabin. I wanted to have the design sort of finalized and saved up enough money for it. That kind of
nice. Keep talking.
Yeah. I wanted to write a show and put it on. I wrote the show and it's been cancelled, postponed twice, and now we're due to do the third one at the end of January, and oh fuck. Things at the moment are looking uncertain. However, I am crossing all appendages that it goes ahead this time because it is finished now, which is good. So I wrote and finished the show. I started writing the next one a little bit, but also haven't done much on
Still
it.
got leftovers from Christmas.
Nice, very nice. I think there's some ice cream cake left over from Christmas inside actually.
Oh. If I do say so myself, I make a killer ice cream pudding.
Yes, we make a pretty good one too. I don't think this was the usual ice cream pudding. I think it was a new invention that apparently was quite good. What else was on there? I was putting the book away. I wanted to finish the draft of the book, print it out, and then leave it for a couple of months. And I did that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't actually done any updates on projects though, so I've been intending to. There's a wealth of video content in that project from the last year that I haven't done yet. And the writing vlogs that I have coming out soon is on Midsummer Night's Piracy, so it's not even on Project Space, even though I'm not working on Midsummer Night's Piracy at the moment. I switched back. And then I did a full read through of the book and stuff, so that was pretty good. And that was like my very much hobby this year rather than priority. I very clearly stated like writing is taking over my life. I need to switch focus.
Oh, I was just going to ask you what binary, what's that? Ice cream. Okay.
Ice cream plum pudding. So in Australia, Christmas is in the middle of summer and it's often like 40 degrees. So that we have recipes for like, instead of a traditional plum pudding, which a lot of us still do anyway because we're crazy.
I love a good plum.
We make an ice cream plum pudding where instead of
basically,
like pudding dough, it's got ice cream with all of the fruit.
A good way to do it is you cook your fruit the way you would cook it before you put it in a pudding. So you put it in a big pan, you add your booze, you add your cinnamon, you do the cooking, then you let it cool down. And then instead of putting it in a dough and baking it, you grab a huge tub of white ice cream and you mix it together and then shove it back in the freezer.
And then once it's frozen, you take it out, pour melted chocolate on the top, and then let it freeze again.
Bingo.
So that you've got like the pudding pour. So it's really good. It's really good. I don't remember what else was on the list now. I know there was quite a few. So financial time. Time and energy was interesting. I wanted to be sort of like really focusing like on doing things that I enjoyed, and I think I really kind of did do that for most of the year. Also finally managed to start like find a therapist and finally managed to get an appointment with a psychiatrist 9 months after I was referred. So that was nice. And then they called again today and I couldn't take the fucking appointment because I agreed to work on Tuesday. So that's annoying, but I don't know, we'll see. See if we can get another one.
Sage, the beauty of it is you don't have to do it 3 months in advance. You can do it the weekend before. That's the best bit about it. If you don't have to pre-plan your pudding, it can just be done the week before. In fact, I've done it like 24 hours beforehand.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And it still works. And it still works really great with brandy sauce. Wouldn't recommend custard or cream with it, but the brandy sauce works a treat.
I'm getting eaten. I can hear it going. Oh, little fucker. Oh, driver's license. That was another one. Got that.
Yep.
Second time's the charm. Got on the road with my car. That was a big one.
No, I'm gonna pull you up on that. It's not second time the charm. It's not having a dick driving instructor in the car with you is the charm.
Yeah, and being in my own car was the charm. And having a driving instructor who was really lovely and wasn't chatting away, driving a Tesla who was really lovely and wasn't just sitting there chatting to the instructor the entire time.
Because they were mates.
Yeah. Where was I? I'm trying to remember what else there was because I can remember the page. I'm just trying to remember what was written on it.
I'm trying to find mine. I found my June ones, which sort of makes sense because I do run June to July. July to June. But I can't. Let me see if they're in the front of this one.
You two having a head. You two having a head butt. Right? Oh,
See, there's this one. We got this in June too.
I know I wrote them down on my computer as well, so I might have to go inside once I can no longer bear the Maltese and it's too dark. Show was the main one, yeah. I also started.
Let's have a look. You've made me think. I think I might know where it is. Keep talking.
Another one was starting Twitch, and I did kind of start that properly in October, and then I haven't done anything since. So, fuck off, Mozzies. Leave me alone. Stop sucking on my blood, you little bitches.
Which
Oh,
is that the one that says
started a new book. I don't know if that was on my goals. I know that was on my stretch goals in October when I did the check-in video. I was like, I want to do NaNoWriMo, and then I'd set all these stupid goals for Vlognarok and got like half of them. So that's still a win. You go.
What?
What are you doing?
It's all the same. They're all the same. Every single piece is the same.
Okay. I'm getting eaten alive. I need to go inside. So, we're off. Bye-bye. Now I've got to go across the electric tap. I don't think it's turned on, but I guess we'll find out.
I am here.
That'll be some electrifying content. Oh, it's off. And I think the TV is very loud, so apologies in advance if the ABC is blaring on the inside. Here we go. Hello.
Sorry, guys. I had to go digging into my cabinets, but I think I found them. So you think you've run through yours?
Oh no. I'm so itchy.
Oh,
no.
Good luck, binary. So.
Oh, geez. All right.
Well, one of the things I tried to do in January was actually do habit tracking. Didn't fucking work. And I can tell you specifically why it didn't work. It's because I was pregnant. I had enough trouble remembering to have my pills every morning, let alone doing other stuff.
I don't even remember that, so.
What else have I got? I found my old journal. So, and this was started in. Oh, look at this! The 23rd of the 2nd. My writing goals was to edit Vendetta, which I did, and redraft Descent, which I did. Knitting goals, work through Stash, still doing it. Sock recipes for family, gave up on it. No one except me wants hand knit socks. They're crazy. Other goals, sort, clean, organize craft supplies.
Oh, I found it.
Finish and complete random projects.
More time at the farm was one of my goals. Lockdown fucked that up.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, because I actually know where the problem I have is I don't run Jan to December. I actually run July to June. So I do have a complete set of actual goals, but they're from June and I'm still only halfway through the year.
Yeah.
So I've still got 6 months to get some of these done. But some of them are rather amusing.
Look what I just found at the bottom of my bag.
Ah, I know what that is.
I know you know what that is. It's been in my bag for quite a long time. Oh dear.
Okay. So this was from, okay guys, bear this in mind. This was from July. This is starting July. I've still got 6 months to finish these. A lot of them won't. I wanted to publish Descent. Still possible.
Still possible.
I wanted to workshop Vendetta. I haven't even finished the draft to the point where I want to share it with my workshop crew yet. I wanted to have my first fantasy novella drafted, and I was going to try to plot a fantasy novel. Fuck that for a joke. I also had 2 ideas for picture books that were going to be follow-ups to Where is Baba? Not done. Platform. I wanted to send a newsletter once a month. I wanted to post to Instagram twice a week. I wanted to do a Patreon bi-weekly update. Patreon got to the point where I shut it down because I couldn't do it.
Oh my god, that's so much.
I wanted to update my Goodreads. I wanted to get my Pinterest sorted. I wanted to read a fiction a month, which I've kind of achieved because we do the knitting book club. So that sort of forces me to read at least 1 fiction a month. And I wanted to read a non-fiction bi-monthly. So I wanted to have 6 in total read by June next year. I've read a total of 0 non-fictions this year so far. I wanted to release 1 pattern a quarter, so 4 patterns in total. So far I've released 1 with knitting. I wanted to be drawing 30 minutes a day or hand sketching. None of this. It's okay.
Like
I made this year.
my aunt used to still be alive, and we did it.
I made a baby. I can't be any more productive than that, can I?
Yeah. Oh. I'm sitting here scratching all my muzzy butts. I found these, which are the perfect scratches. These are like the little connector bits where all the letters for
Oh no, Sage.
the white words are on. Oh my gosh, I've bitten so many times.
Oh no. Oh, so he has to go do a big trip, so he's not going to be back for hours. Oh, you poor bugger. I hate it when I do that. Because I start getting anxious because, like, if David's due home, obviously he's working, he's due home, and I haven't heard from him by about, he finishes at 6, so I haven't heard from him by about 7, I start getting really anxious.
Yeah.
And it's usually just that he's stuck at work because the handover's taken a little bit longer than it should. But it doesn't stop me getting anxious. It's because he's like, he should be home. Where is he? Have there been any accidents on the Hume, you know? Oh,
yeah. Oh, scratch. I found the list on my computer from when I did the video follow-up. So we had Twitch. YouTube was switching to more live content. Yeah, I did that. Totally did that. I have a fucking IKEA vlog. Twitch, Chaos News, and we'll debate whether or not that actually got
You
much
started
going.
it. That's the main thing. I gotta get my newsletter back up next year. That's on one of my to-dos.
Cabaret definitely got done. Despite challenges, driver's license, music, physical and mental health. Well, definitely got the mental, maybe not the physical. Saving cabin and more time at the farm. Yeah, that was about it. I got the majority of them, plus quite a bit of other stuff.
Mm.
Oh, when you scratch a bit too much, then you have to pause for a second and let the scratch fade before scratching again. Scratching too intensely.
He's a good husband, though.
Mm.
Letting you know where he is. That's good.
Oh, that's good.
Mm. Yeah.
Oh, so itchy. I hate mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are like more annoying than COVID in many ways.
I'm just going to put this here because that is something that needs to be celebrated. There's not a lot of excellent husbandos around. I have an excellent husbando. He completely went over his head because he's just sitting there watching the show with his headphones on. So
Yeah.
I guess I'm not getting snuggles tonight. I've got kids in the bed.
I must have like 30 fucking Aussie bikes and just half hour out there. Maybe out.
So if you hear any mild fuck in the background, it's getting to a good bit in the show.
That's good.
And I don't have my directional mic on tonight because I couldn't be bothered digging it out.
Yeah.
Because at the moment I got my draft like right in front of Deep Purple. I just cannot be bothered climbing up the desk.
My phone at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, I might switch the computer in a bit and move over to my desk.
Yeah. Very lucky, Sage.
Computer attack.
Very, very lucky. Oh shit.
Rats.
It glugged. It glugged in. It's all right. They're only 50 mils, so.
Yeah. Like a shot.
It's not even 2 shots because the shot's like 30 mil.
Yeah.
So it's not even 2 shots.
Shot and a half.
Yeah. Which sort of I find weird. Why not just put 60 mil in it so it's 2 shots?
You know what you should call a shot and a half? A shot in the dark. Because you can't get the measurement right, but it's at least a shot. I don't know why I'm so happy with that.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Charlotte. You can do ticketed live streams on Facebook, so a cabaret unplugged.
I have thought about that. I don't know if this is the right show, but if we get cancelled a couple more times, you know, I might just do it. Just because
I honestly don't think we're going to get cancelled. I don't think we're going to get shut down. I think they're just going to start saying you can only have a certain amount of people in the room. And it's going to be the point where places like theatres and an event that husband, kids and I are meant to be going to on Friday called just a little event called Brickvention, not, kind of like Australia's largest Lego convention. I think they're just going to get told you can only have a certain amount of people in the building at any given time, and they're going to turn around and say, well, it's not worth us running.
Yeah.
But then because they're not shut down because of COVID, they don't get the kickback and the payments because they chose to shut down as opposed to, which then the government looks great because they didn't spend a lot of money on it.
I might do a cabaret unplugged next year, Sage. And by next year I mean not in 3 hours.
Yeah.
But like sometime in the next year that begins in 3 hours.
Oh, no. You need to do a Christmas Eve cabaret unplugged.
That could be interesting.
For those of us that aren't religious and don't want to bloody listen to like
Oh, fuck yeah.
Christmas carols.
I'm going to have to write a song about how annoying Christmas carols are. Like the No More Fucks to Give ukulele song.
Yes. Oh, I love that song.
I'm
I
sick
got
of
more
Christmas
fucks to
songs. They're really
strange.
bad.
I went to go shopping with them.
I'm not listen to that crap.
I love that song. I love it. Every time it hits my feed, I have to reshare it. Oh god, I love it. Particularly when I'm at work. I have actually sat there and I've sat there and have said, this is not safe for work, people, close your ears, and showed it to several people at work, and they've just gone, oh my god, yes.
Yeah. Oh,
my office is a sales office, people. So my wage work is administration in a sales office. So yes, we do get to the end of the week and definitely have no more fucks because we're out of fucks, and there's no left of the shops.
I was getting that way last week at work, actually. It was leading up to Christmas. Like, I forgot that the post office closed early on Christmas Eve, and it got to the point where I was like, I need to get on the road to get home, and I was like, you know what? I just don't give enough fucks to sort this out today. I'm leaving it for my co-worker to do next week. So I just told the mirror, I was like, well, I missed the post office. Please arrange pickup on the next day of the week.
You want no more fucks? This is a couple of Christmases ago. I think I was still pregnant with Mark at the time, so it was quite a few ago now. Christmas Eve, in the office, the entire factory was sent home at lunchtime after a barbecue lunch, yet we had to stay till 5 p.m. in the evening in case someone wanted to book an appointment.
Have they not heard of Message Bank?
10 to 5 p.m., someone rings asking where their package is for their replacement hinges. And I'm like, the Australia Post is shut. The factory's shut. We're shutting our computers down. Do you really think you're going to get an answer? I must have an answer or I'm going to cancel my order. Your kitchen is installed, honey. You can't cancel your order.
Oh, dear. Oh,
that's what's running through my head. I'm a hell of a lot more polite when I'm on the job. But
I have multiple mosquito bites that are the size of a 5-cent piece. They are growing.
Oh no, Sage is sending messages. This could be problematic.
I can't see what messages. Wait. Oh, I don't know. What's going on?
Oh yes, the temperature blanket. I actually had plans to make a temperature blanket, Sage, for Mark for his first year, and I never got around to it because finding enough. Okay, because we have such extremes of weather in Melbourne, finding enough colours to actually do a decent temperature blanket from like -2 degrees up to 46 degrees.
Yeah.
Quite working. But yeah, no, I do like them.
You
and
never know how
that's
much
a crochet
of
one. That's a crochet one that she sent me. I actually there's a knitted version as well. But yeah, no, they're great. They're great idea.
Although you could like look back at the records and knit one like for that first year. Oh, with the temperature records of what the temperature was. And that way you would actually be able to plan out how much of each colour wool you need.
I've got the entire year of Mark's first year temperatures from BOM, the Bureau of Meteorology. I just haven't sat down and put it in a spreadsheet and figured it out.
Nice.
So yeah, because you don't want because obviously in summer we can have 4 days around about the same temperature. So you don't want to have such a broad range of temperatures for one color because you'll end up with huge panels of yellow. But if you make it too fine, there's not a lot of companies out there that have a huge range of colors. Bendigo Woolen Mill Classic range has a fantastic set of colors, particularly in the 8 ply. Does it sound like I know a lot about the Bendigo Willow Mills?
Nah, no more than normal people do.
Oh no, the Bendigo yarns are fantastic, but and they do ship overseas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
My grandma knitted an entire jumper out of some
Yeah.
stuff.
Your one's knitted out of Sunset, I think.
Yeah, it is.
I love that color. It's beautiful. It's called the Bloom. Those of you that are listening have no idea what we're talking about. But the Bendigo Woollen Mills is a company. It's sort of a direct public mill.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they actually sell to resellers, to be honest. I don't think I've ever, or even rebrand their yarns to sell to like the likes of Spotlight or anything. But what they've got is they've got this range called Bloom, and it's a very slow transitional range. And so you might have like a series of blues, and it would just sort of go from like really pale blue back through to dark blue, then back through to pale blue. And every 200-gram ball of yarn is different because of the huge transitional cycles in it. It's amazing. Only 8 billion projects. Do you know what? My to knit list is so long, it's ridiculous.
I'm still working on a jumper from 2016, so
that wasn't that the point of the knitting book club, was so we could get some progress on that jumper. Girl, come on.
Yeah, and I almost brought it home with me last week. Not last week, on Tuesday. And I was like, no, I'll be back here for knitting book club anyway. And then, yeah, fucking COVID. I was going to be home, for anyone who's watching, I was going to be home last night, and we were going to do knitting book club, like home at my place in the city. And then on Wednesday, day before I'm about to go out, my housemate got back home from her family trip, and then her brother was like, oh, I've just tested positive, and we saw you yesterday. And so she was like, oh fuck, and then she let us know, and was going to get rapid tests and then a PCR test, and then he's going to get a PCR test. Oh, it's just a mess. And now I'm pretty sure they're just stuck in the waiting game. Yeah. Waiting for the test results, which are taking several days to get to people at the moment.
Sage, there is nothing wrong with knitting blankets. They're the best comfort knit you can have because they're square. Or rectangular shape. You just keep going. I've always got a blanket of some description on the needles because it's just something I can just pick up and just go. I don't have to think about it. I'm not doing fancy lace work or anything like that. The whole point. See, this is what people forget, and I'm not saying Sage has forgotten this, but I think other people forget this. Is knitting is meant to be enjoyable. So if you're spending the entire time you're knitting, looking at your work, trying to count every stitch to make sure you're not making a mistake, I would rather just be knitting a garter stitch blanket.
Yeah. I think that's why this jumper is taking me so long, is because I did a really complicated pattern.
I mean, I got this sitting right here. It's a garter stitch shawl. Like, no. I literally don't have to think. I can just pick it up and knit when I'm contemplating a sentence.
Yeah.
Or yelling at Mark because he's been annoying. I love him.
I think I want to go get another drink. I'm tossing up what I want. I also want to check out that ice cream cake, so I might duck off for a sec and see what I can find in the kitchen. I'll leave you.
See, you're a bit late, Sage. I don't know how to knit cables. I've never knit cables.
Oh, it keeps sitting on my shirt, and then when I go to move my arm, I'll rip it.
Ugh.
I will be back, and I will mute so that you don't get copyrighted music. in the background for 5 minutes.
But yeah, it's not because I'm frightened of knitting cables. I just haven't found the project that I want to knit. Although there is this gorgeous Celtic design shawl that had Celtic designs in the cabling. What was it called? Can't think of it. But yes, that's on my I wish to knit list. I think I've got that in my Ravelry favorites. But yeah, you know what? If I spend my entire life just knitting garter stitch, I don't really mind at this point because it's nice and relaxing and calming, and it's not trying to figure out whether or not I put there, or there in a sentence because I suck at grammar. Or trying to decide if I just need a dash or an M dash. Or what's another one? A colon, a comma, or a full stop. I really need to get myself a copy of Elements of Style. I really do. But, yes. Ooh, shiny. Sorry, my husband is on what we affectionately call Cracklink, which is Bricklink. It is like an aftermarket platform for Lego, buying and selling Lego. And he's looking at shiny things. Oh, that reminds me, Bubby. Bub.
Hmm.
The hubs came.
What?
The hubs came. They're up there.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they came.
Oh.
They came the other day. I forgot to tell you. Sorry, we had some replacements come in. Yep, they're there. It's all right. Thank you, Binary.
Is that the return?
They're the replacements. No, we don't have the return envelope yet.
Oh, okay.
I knitted is at the right.
Oh,
Knitted a beanie with a cable knit edge. Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, sorry. You want to pass them over? Now that I've actually said it, I'll explain what's going on. Okay, here is. Okay, any company out there has any questions about customer service, I tell them to go and look at Lego, because these things are $50 each, $60 on secondhand market. They're the Duplo train motor, so they're what makes the Duplo trains run on the track. My son managed to break both of his. He shouldn't be able to break them, but he managed to break them both on the same day within about an hour. And I contacted Lego and I just said, because they weren't listed on their parts spot or their replacement parts shop. So I contacted Lego start of December and I just said, look, they're not listed, but I'm wondering if I can buy a couple. Happy to buy them. Because I know it was my son's fault. He managed to break them. And they asked me what happened. I told them what happened. And they said, no, are you happy to send them back to us? And I'm like, well, yeah, of course. And they're like, we want them back. We'll send you some replacements. I'm like, well, I'm happy to pay. You know, I know it's my son that broke them. No. We want to know why they broke. We want them back. We're sending you new ones. So I was like, what? Okay. Mind you, this is like leading up to Christmas too.
Mind you, the second-hand markets are $50, $60. Whereas
Delta is singing with all the healthcare workers.
Sorry?
Delta is singing with all the healthcare workers.
Oh, yeah, I did. I was not interested in that. Yeah. Customer service wise, Lego for the win. Yeah, they do. That's it, Sage. That's it. They want to know because they want to know how he managed to break them so they can fix them. Because what he did was he put it's Delta singing.
Hey, look what I've got.
Charlotte's mum's got the ABC stream on. Yeah,
because
what he did was he pressed down on them and he was running them back and forth. And they shouldn't have broke, but he stripped the gears. He's actually stripped the gears inside the hubs. So
If you like static.
oh yeah, that's just Charlotte because she's on her phone.
Oh, okay.
David's getting mildly annoyed because of the static on your phone.
Well, tough.
He was worried it was our internet. Yeah.
No, it's
So
mine.
yeah, no, they're so yeah, no, very, very, very happy with the customer service. I actually just emailed them today because I was going to leave it to after New Year's, but the hubs turned up, but the return envelope hasn't, and that was meant to come before the hubs turned up. So you notice, Sage, how I just keep talking and ignore it? Just used to it. Oh god, you're gonna make yourself sick, honey. You eating some brie?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
It's very tasty.
vomit on live YouTube. New Year's Eve. Sweet.
That'll get the views up.
What?
David just said, "Cool, vomit on YouTube on live stream on New Year's Eve," and I said, "Yeah, that'll get the views up." Yeah, see, I'm just used to it now, Sage.
The pudding melted, so I put it in a wine glass. I also got a beer.
Beer, brie, and look like mousse. I think David might chunder, and he hasn't had any of it.
It's melted ice cream pudding.
Melted ice cream pudding. He's not a pudding eater to begin with.
Hmm?
He's not a pudding eater to begin with.
Ah.
And then you've added brie, and you've added a beer.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Oh shit! Our front door's open, and they just started fireworks. The cats have just gone bonkers. The brie was. I only had half my brie, and I really liked it. It was a really nice one, so I think I might go and have some more later. Yes.
Sorry,
Okay. So I was actually what?
There's limited availability.
Yeah. Well, now that I've got my knitting out because someone mentioned knitting and it was sitting right next to me, let's talk knitting book club. Let me bring up the list. What have we read this year? Let's have a look. We've read a book a month.
Honey, you don't.
Except for that one where we took 2 months to read June.
Oh, no. Sorry, what's the quote? You should. Did you Shawshank?
It's been a long time since I've read or watched Shawshank. Yes, there's a book.
You ignorant.
I'm just ignoring my husband being a smart ass. Don't mind me. You think I'm good at ignoring, Sage? You should hear me ignore my child when he's screaming in my ear because I'm dragging him into the shower. We're at that age where we don't want to have a shower. We don't want to be clean. And then you get his little ass in the shower and he won't get out again.
Yeah.
So just because we've got the stream running, it's just going to take me a minute to bring it up. Oh, come on.
Right in my face and I can't find it.
Here we go.
I just love that they've got the New Year's Eve celebration. And just on the stage just says Delta. It's just funny.
I love that. I love that. Meanwhile, in Australia, when poor Delta kept going, okay, and walking off.
Yeah.
Shit, we've been doing this since May 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, so January 21st, January, we did This Is How You Lose the Time War. One of the best books I think I've read this year.
One of the best books I've read ever.
Ever. I love that book. I love that book a lot.
You little fucker.
We did Stardust in February. Now, nothing against Neil Gaiman, but I just didn't remember that we did Stardust.
Oh, yeah, we did Stardust.
Like, up against some of the other books that we've read, it's good, but it's just not. Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it.
Yep, we've got a Sage in Lurk mode. And then we did The Martian, which I am extremely biased. It is one of my favourite books ever.
Love that. Hang on, I'm just gonna try and drop mine. Okay.
We did a lot of good books this year, actually.
We did some great books this year.
Yeah, we did The Martian, then we did Schlock Mercenary, Force Multiplication, After Dark, which I could reread After Dark once a month. I don't even like magical realism, but I just love that book. You know what?
I'll probably reread it one day, but
Addie LaRue has gone into the same category as After Dark for me. It's not my favorite genre, but it's something that I will revisit.
What has?
Addie LaRue has gone into the same basket. It's like you sit there and have a conversation with me about my favorite books. I am not going to mention After Dark, but I will reread that at least 3 or 4 times every year. And it's only a novella, so it's easy to reread. Then we did June in June, because we had a good review about that. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which I'm going to be honest, I'd completely forgotten we had done as well.
Yeah.
So I like Neil Gaiman, Douglas Adams, 2 of my favorite authors, and I completely forgot we did the books because they were just outshined by other things. Guards by Terry Pratchett, magnificent book.
Not outshined by anything.
No, can never be. Pratchett can't be outshined. Then we did Pirate Women and a Bottle of Rum, and I still giggle about that book. Pirate Women.
Bottle of Rum, yeah.
Actually, no, I've read 2. I've read 2 non-fictions. I need to read 1 more to catch up for the 6 months. Then we did Darkest Shade of Magic.
I checked it at the end of last year and then reread it.
Yeah.
But that shot to the top of favourite series.
Darkest Shade, yeah.
I'm excited for the sequels.
I'm struggling a little bit with the second one. I have started. I think it's not because I'm not enjoying it. I think it's just because I can't concentrate on it. Because I got so much else happening, and I got the kids, and like Mark's got a lot of care days that's not happening in the next couple of weeks because of public holidays. So I just can't sit down and focus on it much. And then December we've got Sleeper and Spindle, which we are planning on doing next week. Yeah. So all I think we did a pretty solid year.
Okay, favourite moments from entire book club books combined, though. Even though we haven't done the second book of Darkest Shades yet, I'm going to include the first chapter of book 2 because I read that this year.
That is good. That is good. I have read that bit. I'm up to I think chapter 3.
other favorite moment, I mean, the entirety of This Is How You Lose the Time War, but rereading the first chapter after getting to the end of This Is How You Lose the Time War and rereading the last line of the first chapter and having that brain explosion of like, what?
My favorite bit for the entire year, and bear in mind, we read a lot of my favorite books, was a particular line that we read out on our stream. If a woman puts a snake and a lion at the front of your house, you kind of got to get the hint that she's not interested, or I'm paraphrasing, but you know what I'm talking about.
Take a hint. Oh, the sass.
The sass was brilliant.
We need more women doing books like that on history, on historical events, because you just get the most hilarious, brilliant perspective.
Yeah. Yes.
That's just like on all of these dudes doing shit.
The reason I love it so much, and I think, the reason I really love the Pirate Woman book so much, and I have re-listened to it because I got it on audiobook about 4 or 5 times since, is because it completely changed my perception on reading those sorts of historical pieces, like those books. Because I started reading, what's it called? Under the Flag or something it's called? Under the Black Flag? No, not Under the Sea.
Under the Black Flag?
Yeah. And he says something about female pirates. And I immediately hark back to Pirate Women, where she literally says, take into account that a lot of these historical books are written from the perspective of a man. And I'm just like, yeah, good point, honey. Good point.
Yep.
Yeah, so of all the books we've read this year, I reckon Pirate Women was the most influential in my reading and writing.
There's a lot of stories in there as well that if I ever want inspiration for another pirate book,
just some of them are just begging to be redone.
If I ever become like Victoria Schwab level author or whatever, on top of all the other fucking things I've got going in my life, I am writing that Danish girl book as a like fantasy novel.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna steal that story and have like inspired by true story.
I really want to do Blackbeard, because obviously my characters are pirates. I really want to do a Blackbeard in space style, but with the twist that she mentioned. But with the twist that she mentions in Pirate Women, where Blackbeard's a woman. I really want to do it.
And if it's like your space universe, it could be Blackbeard inspired by the legends of Blackbeard, but space pirate Blackbeard who's taken on the name.
No, it kind of fits already, and I could actually use existing characters and existing history, because for about 10 years my main character is just known as the Hawk. Her sex isn't known. She's just the Pirate Hawk. Oh, that hurts.
I did have a bit of a laugh the other day. This is a realization I hadn't really considered. There was that meme that Emmy shared that was like, does your book pass like the Bechdel test and all these others?
Mine doesn't.
Like, yeah, mine passes all of those. But I had a laugh and I was like, actually, if I did a gender-flipped Bechdel test, my book would not pass it.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Because, like, I think that's fine though, because there's like 90% of media that would pass that is entirely the opposite. So because I do have 2 male named characters but I don't think they ever talk to each other yet in any written scenes. It may get added in the scenes I still have to rewrite or that I've forgotten about. There's no one-on-one scenes. And in the current version, I don't think there's ever anything. The closest example I could think of, they're talking about another woman.
Yeah.
Because they're talking about another one of the characters who is a woman, but like that doesn't really have much to do with the conversation.
Yeah, see, when I have, I'm just trying to think. The only character you don't really get the only male character you don't really get one-on-one scenes with is he's just not that kind of character anyway. So he's sort of like
not like other characters.
He's the tech nerd that pretty much spends his entire life plugged into the computer. And I'm actually to the point where I'm thinking I might drop his pronouns too and just make him a them there. Because because the whole point of his character, Chris is his name, is that he is he's been a cyborg since he was a child. He barely remembers being organic because he was a slave, and he was effectively turned into a cyborg because he didn't exhibit the powers his sister exhibited. So they went, oh, well, you're useless. We're going to chuck your brain in a shell so you can go work in the mines. Oh, that's like number 7 now.
I was trying to see whether I could. I can't.
Can I? Yeah. Oh, I'll get rid of it. Yeah. So I'm almost to the point where I'm sort of thinking, do I just drop his pronouns and just make him like asexual completely, because he's got no interest in any of that.
I don't think you necessarily need to, because then if you do that, you stray into the realm of the danger of like. I watched this really good video essay the other day on asexual representation that was talking about how a lot of the representation was of like robots and stuff.
Yeah,
where
that's my thing. That's one of the reasons why I haven't done it.
Humanity with sexuality when it doesn't necessarily.
Which is one of the reasons why I haven't done it. It's one of the reasons why I haven't done it. But he is that kind of person where he's not really interested in human interaction, so he just goes and plugs himself into the computer and does what he wants to do over there. We'll just say extreme introvert. But the others do have at points conversations. Just trying to think. There's more in the next book. The first book's a bit centric around a certain character because of the situation, but it starts expanding in the second book. So yeah.
I saw a Tumblr meme about the asexual pirate who saves everyone from sirens.
Yes,
I'm gonna put my pirates book in the C one. Midsummer Piracy. I think that's gonna be a minor crew member character. Because I do have sirens in the book. They take place with fairies. Yes, I'm just eating, please.
So what would have been your favourite book?
Probably
hard.
You Lose the Time War. But top tier is This Is How You Lose the Time War, Terry Pratchett, Guards, and Victoria Schwab, Dark Shade of Magic series.
Well, I honestly don't think there is a book we read this year that I would not reread.
And The Martian, I did really enjoy The Martian.
Oh, I love The Martian. That's our Clean the House audiobook. We put that on at the start of the weekend, and we've listened to the whole thing by the time we finish cleaning the house at the end of the weekend. I'm trying to think. Which one would be my favorite? I really did like This Is How You Lose the Time War. I really did like that one because it was so fresh too, so completely different.
So fresh. So much beautiful sci-fi, but also beautiful prose, and just
Yeah.
oh my god, I'm still not over the whacked seal pun.
That was gorgeous. That one. That was amazing.
I started crying with laughter before it even got to it because I saw where it was going. Because they referenced waxed seals in the previous letter, and then she's clubbing a seal, and I was like, ah!
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to split it between this is how you lose the Time War and Pirate Women.
Yeah.
I don't think I could say one's better than the other.
Pardon?
I don't think you could say one's better than the other, but one is a fiction, one's a non-fiction.
Yeah, I keep them in separate categories in my mind because they're different.
So we've got January figured out, we've got Feb figured out, we haven't looked at March yet, and we've got April figured out for next year. And it's growing up to be a strong year again for books.
Do we want to do Gideon the Ninth for March?
I was actually thinking maybe we look at a novella because we've got two huge books in February and April.
Oh yeah, February's Time War. Not Time War.
Wheel of Time. So we've got a Gathering of Shadows in January.
Oh, we do.
Yeah. Yes. We've got Wheel of Time, book 1, Eye of the World.
I'm so excited to be able to talk about that opening chapter. It's the best thing. It's like, oh, what she did with that chapter. We're going to have to come back to this a little bit later.
Oh, shit.
Things that we've read other authors do this year that made us go, holy fuck, I want to be able to do something that good.
I have a problem with that opening. I have a big problem with that opening, and I cannot wait to discuss it with you because I don't know if you've considered it or not. I love it. I love the opening. I love it. But I have one big problem with it. Sorry?
I'm curious now because I also haven't reread it since early this year.
Yeah. No, I have one seriously big problem with it, and it's not the content, it's not what happens in it. It's just something that she did, which I personally have a problem with.
I think she is in the author or she is in the character?
Well, it's what Schwab has done in the book to justify something.
Logical level.
Yeah, logical level. But it's not anything that hurts the logic of the book itself. It's just the logic of okay, I think sometimes authors fall in love with their characters and don't want them to really be bad guys.
Right. Yes.
I think that's the problem. And so and I think that's part of the problem with a lot of the YAs that are out there is they have, how many YA books are out there about some young girl whose family gets murdered, so she becomes an assassin to go and kill the person that killed them, and then she spends the entire novel angsting about killing someone when she's a trained fucking assassin.
Yeah.
I mean, you kill people because you get paid for it, honey. That's the definition of an assassin. And you're meant to be the best at it. You're meant to be fantastic at it. Yet you're agonizing over killing the one person you had a reason to kill when all the other ones were just contracts. Anyway, that's my personal beef. But I do think that is because I think people fall in love with their characters and they don't really want them to be hated.
I don't remember that being in that book.
It's not. It's not to what way I'm describing it. The problem I have with it is that she wants to be a pirate. She's always wanted to be a pirate, yet she's not a pirate. She's a privateer. And it works for the story, and I can see why it's going to work with getting her back into London. I understand all that. But she specifically went out on a boat to sail the seas and become a pirate.
I don't know if you've gotten to the conversation with Alucard yet, where she finds out. Oh, you must have, because you know they're privateers. But like when she finds out that he's not an actual pirate and she's pissed about it.
Yeah, but she still settles. She still settles. She doesn't get off at the nearest port and go find a pirate ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my problem with and that's got nothing to do with the book. I'm enjoying it, like when I can get my headspace into it. But it's just, I think it's.
Have they gotten back to port yet?
No, they're Cal and his brother are severely hungover at the moment at lunch. That's what I'm up to.
Okay.
And I stopped it because I was getting very annoyed with it because
I'm
I
not going to spoil anything. All I'm going to say is once she gets back to London, there's a couple of things she does which I think will make you less annoyed about the fact that she didn't go find another pirate ship, because she's not really sticking to the privateer rules.
I know she's not sticking to the privateer rules, but I just see it. It's not a cop-out, it's a sidestep. And I just sort of see it in the same vein as I was saying about the so-called assassin that goes to assassin school to become an assassin, to kill someone, and then spends the entire book angsting about it to the point where they become enemies to lovers trope, you know. And it's like, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, if you want a character to be an assassin, they got to be a cold-hearted killer, because that's what assassin school would do to them. Well, if you go to a school to learn to be a cold-hearted assassin, wouldn't the whole point of the school would be to turn you into a cold-hearted assassin? They're not going to turn you into someone that has tea and dumplings.
Unless they're cyanide dumplings.
Well,
there you go. Thanks, Shah.
Killing in style.
Yeah, well, you know, but you're still going to be a cold-hearted assassin to put cyanide in the dumplings.
You can be a normal housewife. You can be a normal housewife.
Yes, you could.
Very fun discussion.
Can you get me some ice cream?
You agree with me.
I love you. Yeah, well, you said it. I just agreed with you. I'm being the sweet, lovable wife. He said you could put cyanide in the dumplings. The housewife could. I said, yes, a housewife could, couldn't she?
No, they train you up to be a housewife.
Have you seen Gone Girl?
No.
Gone Girl.
Gone Girl.
No.
No. Okay, look, I grew up in the era where Nikita was one of the best films about an assassin. So
Girl isn't an assassin, but
yeah. But do you get what I mean? It doesn't necessarily, if there's justifications for it, it's fine. But I do feel sometimes there are cop-outs in general. And so when I do read something like that, I immediately have an issue with it. It might pan out okay over the course of the book, but it immediately makes me go, oh, she didn't go there. She didn't go there, you know, which is like she didn't take that step and go there, you know. And yes, you're right. It might just be a matter of timing, but
might be coming in the sequels.
Well, I'm just having trouble writing the next one.
Well, I don't think she's actually having trouble. I think she's just
It's a mammoth. It's mammoth effort, I think.
Well,
hi CD. Hope you're doing well.
Process for every single book. We're just seeing it in live time.
Yeah, which is great. I really love watching her things. And you know what? That's what actually is making me more and more of a fan of hers, is not necessarily her writing. Her writing's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying her adult writing. I haven't tried her YAs. I'm not sure I'm even going to bother. But I do like her adults, because I just have problems with YA books. I'm 41 years old. I don't want to read about a 15-year-old idiot that can't even have a proper conversation.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
She writes like the sort of like creepy ghost story one.
If she brings the skill set she has from her adults into her YA and just has it aged down a little bit, they're probably going to be some of the best YAs out there. Yeah,
I think that's the case. Because I know
Which is,
it was
and
really enjoying
I'll give
the-
it a go eventually, but I want to read the villain series first because that is what I want. I want a villain series where you get a villain,
Yeah.
not just a misunderstood person. And yeah, but I'm enjoying her stuff. I'm enjoying her writing. But I think what makes me a bigger fan is that she's so goddamn honest in her Instagram. That's what I really like. Because it's not easy.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so topic I thought could be fun. Moments you've read in books this year that made you go, fuck, I want to be able to do something like that. I've got like 5.
You start.
Okay, so Terry Pratchett does some of the best character description introductions I have ever read.
Yes, yes.
He will introduce a character in 2 sentences, and it is hilarious. Gives you such a clear picture of who this person is, and is so specific, while also being one of the most brilliant things you've ever heard in terms of someone describing someone.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do character description introductions like Terry Pratchett can do them. I want to be able to do jokes as good and as well set up as the fucking wax seal from This Is How You Lose the Time War. I also want to be able to do what they did in that last sentence of chapter 1, and it is like the most brilliant wordplay foreshadowing that you don't realize is foreshadowing until you've read the entire book and you go back and start reading it again and you get to the end of the first chapter and you realize they used a word which can mean multiple different things, and on the first read you think it means one thing, and on the second read you realize it meant the other. Both make sense in the context, and you don't realize at the time when you're first reading it that they are both making sense.
That is one thing that I love in This Is How You Use the Time War, because it's the play with words, and because I try to have that in mind, because one of my characters is very much won't really tell you the whole truth, but will let you draw your conclusions with the information you have. And if you're completely off the mark, they just turn around and go, "Yep, cool. You've come up with an answer for yourself. You can be happy. You go do that. Doesn't have to be true, but you're the one that decided it. So I'm not going to contradict you. You know." Because it's that play on words. It's like you say a sentence and it can be taken multiple ways depending on what you're thinking. So yes, no, I do like that.
Do that. Another thing was like the plot twist first chapter that we've just talked about for the last 10 minutes that V.E. Schwab in the second book of the Shades of Magic series.
Yes.
And she does it by spending the entirety of book 1 establishing who these characters are. And then in the first chapter of the next book, one of the main characters that you know from the first book is in the most unexpected position you would ever expect them to be in. And then you're like, how the fuck did that happen? And you get like halfway through the chapter before you realize what's going on.
I figured it out.
I think you suspect. You suspect
it.
You're also like, what?
Yeah, you suspect and then go, but did it? Is it really?
Yeah, you don't have information that you're right until about halfway through the chapter, and then you're just like, oh shit! And it gets to the end, and then it twists again, and you're just like, it doesn't reveal until like right at the end of the chapter. I
like it a lot.
The actual thing that she's been doing, like you see the methods, and then you see the plan and the execution, and then you see at the end
The why.
background setting. It's like you start really zoomed in, and then you get a step out to the ship, and then you get a step out, and you're like, oh, it's so well done.
I did enjoy that. I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the why too. I thought the why was classical because it was so very much her. Very much her. Oh, look, CB, okay. Hogfather, guards. Just
Going
do yourself
postal.
a favor. At least those two.
Going postal as well.
And going postal, yes.
And going postal. In fact, I would say going postal, Hogfather, guards, which is the order that we did them in.
Yes,
Going
because postal is one of his later works, which is more refined. Guards is Hogfather's sort of in the middle, and Guards is one of his earlier works. You can tell because there's no chapters in it.
You already enjoy his work because you're already invested.
Yeah. But oh god, what's his name? Is my favorite main character.
Vimes,
yeah. I knew it was on V. Victor, no, not Victor.
That's character description though.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
An unshaven collection of bad habits marinated in alcohol. I want to be able to do character descriptions like that. It's so good. And like every character you meet has something like that to introduce them.
Yeah.
Oh,
he was a master. He was
such a master.
Yeah, if you want to be taken to the school of writing humor, just read a Terry Pratchett, honestly.
Oh, fuck yeah. Another thing that I read this year that I want to be able to do is an opening line like The Martian.
Well, actually, I love the opening line in The Martian. Unfortunately, I had to change my opening line because it was exactly the same. But I needed to change it anyway. But the one thing I love in The Martian, and I would love to be able to do in my own stuff, is normalize the tech talk. So instead of it sounding like the way he just explains it, because it's part of the problem, like I need to breathe air to survive. So if the blah, blah, blah dies, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
And it's a whole technical, paragraph on paragraph of technical words or technical situations, but it's so normalized. You're not ripped out of the book.
That I've ever read.
Yeah, you're not ripped out of the book. Your suspension of disbelief is just continued because of the way he writes it, and I really love that.
I think that's like the narration, best narrative voice and hard SF description. What else have we read this year? God, I can't remember all of them.
Yeah.
And
yeah, she's Ant-Man. She's what's her name? Not Ant-Man. Wasp. Yeah, I knew she was Wasp, but I did not realize he was Hail Hydra.
No.
Sorry, my husband is showing me one of those. Did you know all these people in Marvel were also all the people who played these characters in Lord of the Rings?
Nice.
Mm.
Elrond being the Hydra dude. Red Skull.
Yeah. No. What's his name? He played Thorin. Thorin. The guy who played Thorin played
the assassin at the start of Captain America.
Thorin.
The assassin that kills the Doctor at the start of Captain America. The one that tries to jump into the little one-man sub. Right?
Richard Armitage.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I couldn't remember which one Thorin was.
Yeah, no, that's literally the one we're talking about because I was just like,
I remembered who Thorin was because you said the assassin who kills the Doctor, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, Richard Armitage. Yeah. Oh yeah, that one. That one of them. Oh,
I do like the image of Doctor Strange though, because you got Doctor Strange, and then in the Lord of the Rings, you just got a picture of Smaug. Oh, CB, you're missing out.
Martin Freeman is in both.
Yes.
I don't know what his character is called in Marvel, but he's that snobby British guy who ends up in Wakanda.
He's actually he's an American CIA agent.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I like his character. I think his character's awesome because he comes across as that snobby, but he actually isn't. And I really think he played it very well.
You get under the surface after a couple of movies.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously Lee Pace. I mean, we all know who Lee Pace is, guys.
Yeah. Orlando Bloom, is he in any Marvel stuff?
No.
Not yet. Chris Evans isn't yet either.
Not yet.
Well, it's a big universe. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Keith
Urban.
I feel like Carl Urban. Is Carl Urban?
Yeah. What's his name?
Oh yeah, no, Carl Urban is in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
As the gatekeeper dude.
Yeah, you look like a man who, your vision. What is your vision, Scourge? Scourge, is that his name? Yeah. I love her. I think she did so well. It's just like we normally had executioners,
she's both as well.
Vision. Yeah.
She's both as well.
Also, her name is execute people, but your vision. I love that line.
I just want to survive.
God, when you realise that Lord of the Rings was 20 years ago, and she looks exactly the same as Galadriel as she does as Hela.
Yeah.
And you're just like, holy fuck.
She's a very beautiful person, and let's just say special effects are amazing. No, I actually think she's...
And money.
Yes, money.
Lots of money. Money and skincare routines are amazing.
Yes.
Shit that we will never be able to do properly.
Oh, I'm just too lazy to do a skincare routine.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh dear.
Who else? Who else is there?
Is there any other ones that you would?
If you include X-Men, then you've got Gandalf as well.
Yep. Well, that comes down to who they're going to import, because now that they can import X-Men and the mutants, it comes down to whether or not they import certain actors doing characters, or if they just import the characters themselves, or in the case of
if they import anyone, I think it's going to be McAvoy and Fassbender.
Yeah.
And that era.
Yeah. Or they might get people to do cameos, like they might ask Hugh to do a funny cameo or something, because he has put up his wolvers.
He's put up his claws.
Yeah, his wolvers. But they might get him to do a funny thing, like at the start of the First Class, when they walk into the bar,
he tells them to fuck off. And they're like, okay.
Yeah. Yes. They might, like, Multiverse of Madness is really going to open up the ability to do that. So they can introduce the mutants from the old teams and then start having new people bring in from the, what is it? It's Universe 926 is the Avengers universe. It's classified. It's got a classification number in the comics.
I thought it was 6. It could be 629. No.
629 or something. It's got a classification. So yeah. So once they've introduced the concepts, they can start showing it in the world.
Yeah.
Because Scarlet Witch. Yeah, because Wanda and her brother were mutants. They actually were mutants. And they haven't said they're not mutants in the universe, so it does open up the possibilities of that.
Look like I need to switch over to computer, because otherwise my phone is going to die. So while I do that,
yeah. Look, I'm looking forward to it. I still need to see Eternals.
Is it
haven't watched
616?
it yet.
Earth
Something-
616?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Alright. I
But,
will just jump across.
Whilst you're jumping across, I reckon the other thing from all the books we've read this year, what I would really love to be able to emulate in my own is the mega storylines, the long game of June.
616 is the universe of origin.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Now I would I would dearly love to emulate the long game of June, the payoffs. Yeah, 616, okay.
The payoffs were quite good.
Yeah. And that's one thing we're going to have to do, if we're going to have to finish off the series, we're going to have to read the 6 books of June, I think. We've got a few series we have to clean up and finish. So what have we got series-wise? We've got to finish Jemisin's. I think that's it. We have an angle change. Altered carbon. See, I got a lot of work to convince Shah to read Woken Furies.
You do have a lot of work.
But it would just be nice to finish the series, if that makes sense. Because I am a completionist.
What is nice is not having to read a crap book.
See, but from memory, let me reread it, and I'll report back, because I remember it being better than Broken Angels. I remember it being a lot better, but we're talking nearly 20 years since I read it, so. And then we had, then we're in the middle of the Magic series from Schwab. Yeah, we really only have to do the Jemisin series. Obelisk 8 is the next one.
Yeah.
Oops. And then we're going to really torture ourselves by starting the Wheel of Time next year.
Oh boy. You know what we should do? We should do the next Mistborn one.
I haven't read the first one yet, honey.
I know. Maybe if you had to do the second one, you might read them again.
I have one problem.
To read another Takashi fucking Kovacs book, you have to read the next Mistborn.
I fully intend to read them. Don't get me wrong, I fully intend to read them, but I have a problem with doing it in the next 6 months, because we have fantasy, blank, fantasy. So the next 3 months are all fantasies, and the last 2 months have been fantasy. So we've got out of the next 6 months, we've got 5 fantasies. So we need a sci-fi in there somewhere.
Oh, all right. We will get there.
Although I must admit, I've heard a lot of good things about the Murderbot series, so it might be worth doing the first novella, because that's nice and short.
The which one?
Murderbot series by Martha Wells.
Oh.
The novel won the Hugo, but the first 5 books are novellas.
Oh, that's good.
Hang on, let me see if there's an audiobook of it.
I want to do Gideon the Ninth.
Sorry?
I want to do Gideon the Ninth, because it just keeps getting shoved into my circle of awareness, and every time it sounds awesome.
My thing is because Gideon the Ninth, it keeps getting shoved in my circles too. But because it's a science fantasy, I kind of sort of sit it more towards fantasy than sci-fi.
Now, will my phone start charging again now that it's no longer streaming? Yes, it will. It's already got 2%. Good.
Yep, the Murderbot Diaries are all audiobooked.
Nice. They've got a 2-for-1 sale at the moment, and Priory of the Orange Tree is one of the ones that's included in the selection. So is like Leviathan Wakes and Artemis, which is like the Martian.
Yeah, we've got Artemis, and I've got his other one. But everyone keeps saying they're brilliant, but I've also heard from other people going, well, you know, Artemis is the second book syndrome issue? Not bad, but just, you know, just second book syndrome. Broken
As
Angels
long as it's not
syndrome.
as bad as Broken Angels.
I think both of us have one single problem with Broken Angels, and that's that the entire plot was forgotten about after chapter 2.
Yeah.
And only came back at the end. You know, if it had actually been written with that plot tension all the way through it would have been a brilliant book.
Yeah.
He didn't even have to change what he was doing. Just needed to make it a bit more.
Just needed to make you care before he did it.
Exactly.
Because then it just changed the entire book to who gives a shit.
Yeah, exactly. To be honest, it's been that long since I've read Chronicles of Narnia. I can't help you there. But see, that's the thing too, is Woken Furies, the entire premise of Woken Furies is someone uses an old copy of him. So when he was when he was either still an envoy or just finished being an envoy, and they send him against his proper self. And from memory, that was actually pretty good. But the book is that thick. There was a lot more plot in it than that. I just can't remember it.
Yeah. I'm currently really enjoying the second Mistborn series, which you need to have read the first one to get all of the little references, but you could read separately.
Go to bed, Bobby.
But they've got the sequel series is actually a lot shorter than the first series. The first series are 20-hour books in audio. The second series are 10-hour books.
Well, I think Brandon Sanderson's getting a bit more succinct in his writing, to be honest.
A little bit, but there's also a lot less characters in the second series because it's more of like a mystery plot style as opposed to a heist. So you don't have the entire heist crew that you're keeping track of. You've just got the sort of detective and his sidekick-ish character, and then you've got the plucky sidekick, you got the detective, you got the girl, and then
he's taken a classic detective and chucked it in fantasy.
Yeah. It is pretty much like cozy mystery in steampunk fantasy, with a lot of references to the previous series through street names and stuff like that. And religion.
That's why I love writing in the same universe, is because you can do callbacks like that. You know, characters don't even need to be the same. It's just, you know, a place name or a particular bar or a particular situation in history. You know, I do like those callbacks.
Yeah.
But yeah,
technically, I could put Midsummer Night's Piracy in the same universe as Project Space. One's in the past, one's in the future.
So right down our fucking street.
That's loud. Is that fireworks?
That sounds like it's at our street. Our front door's open because we're letting the air out. No, as in like the wire door's locked and shut. It's the wood door's open because we've got the aircon on.
Yeah. That was so loud I could hear it.
just for you guys playing at home, fireworks are actually illegal in the state of Victoria to be let off.
Particularly in fire ban season.
And the fact that they've actually banned rooftop fireworks in the city to try to stop people from going out.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah.
Killer conversation. Yeah, but it sounds very close though.
So you don't have the same troubles that I have with fast travel because yours is all set in the solar system, right?
No, mine's
Is it galactic scale?
Yeah.
Oh, so you do have the same issues.
It takes them months to get places. So yeah, so I do have that problem. But that's why I've got the ship that's designed for long hauls, because they literally spend months just waiting. And the lines even said at one point is you forget in the long hauls because you just spend 3 months doing nothing but maintaining the ship and reading books or whatever you want to do. And then you get to the next spot and you realize that, you know, the whole universe is falling apart, but you're in, you know, almost as fast as light travel, so you didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I've got hyperspace that I've added in recently because I knew it was a thing that I had just like gone, I'll deal with that later and work out how the speed systems work. But I've done hyperspace the same in that like it's a week's travel in hyperspace to get from Epitos to Telonia, which is like Epitos is at the center of where everything happens. Telonia's out on like the outer rim.
Thank you.
And it would take probably several years out of hyperspace.
Yeah, CCB, it's just illegal to let off fireworks at all unless you're a licensed person at all. Like you're not even meant to buy them here.
I wonder where they got them.
Well, considering that you used to have to drive to Canberra and buy them, and now no one can cross borders. Well, actually, no, people can cross borders now, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. But anyway, that's the points. Yeah, see, my thing is I have FAL, which is fast as light, which is sort of a misnomer because it's as fast as possible to light speed, because you cannot go as fast as light. It's just scientifically impossible. Unless there's been some new research, please let me know if there has been, people, because I'll update my book before I do it. Because I want to make it as accurate as possible to the science. I mean, there's plenty of things in there that are very not accurate to science, but that's one myth I have about space travel. So depending on how fast your ship is, the closer you can get to speed of light, the quicker your ship will travel. But it will only be a few extra Ks per hour, let's just say. But that
few extra space Ks per second.
Space Ks. I use space Ks. Yes, okay. I thought about it when I was about 16 years old. Guys, don't burn me.
I like it. It's funny. I like it.
Well, you just see what I do is I've looked at it from a logical point of view. Is it may have some very scientific name, but the layman going into space to travel from here to here is going to say that's going to take me 20 space Ks.
Yeah,
you know,
that's like the same. I eventually gave up trying to give gadgets weird names and just called it a fucking phone because I'm like, people are just going to call it a phone. Like
I have comlinks,
nothing like a current phone.
Yeah. I have data pads.
I have a fucking multi-tool that has lasers on it.
Yeah. Window screens. So it's a window that actually acts like a screen. Data screens. You get data on the screen. Data entry keys and keyboard. You know, it's just think about what a layman would use, you know, because they're the words that are going to happen.
I have a literal multi-tool that has like laser cutting stuff on it instead of like a pocket knife.
Yeah. You know, and that's it. But it's so so I've got different modes of travel. I've got in-space travel. So when you're traveling from, say, planet to planet in the solar system where you use space Ks. So instead of saying it's 3,560 million kilometers, it's 35 space Ks. I can't remember the exact term. Like it was like a 10,000 or 100,000 Ks or something.
Pirate Ninja.
Mm.
I read it down. Yes, it's a pirate ninja. Yes, it's a pirate ninja, like Martian. He uses pirate ninjas.
Pirate ninjas.
And then when you jump your ships into overdrive and go as fast as light, which is as fast as possible to light, I just haven't given that a term because it's just the ship goes fast, and what would normally take a month's worth of travel, it takes this ship 3 weeks. Because it goes just that little bit faster, so it's it gets there a little bit quicker. But
yeah, I really liked the idea of moving star maps.
Yes.
Because then you have the whole potential of like when you're journey planning as you would on public transport, depending on when you go, it's like the equivalent of planning for traffic. You got to plan for orbit.
Yeah.
Where is this planet going to be when I'm trying to get there? Because if I go at a certain time, it's going to be a lot closer than another time when it's going to be on the other side.
And there's also too, there's the issue of one of the things that I use is gravity from the stars that you're traveling past. The gravity, because you're not leaving standard space, you're just traveling fast in standard space. The gravity of the planets and the ship and the stars and the black holes that you pass are going to affect your ship. So the navigational computer has to take that into account as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Which is why hyperspace as a separate dimension works so well.
Yes, it does.
Because you don't have
that's
to
why
that.
I haven't used it, because the whole fact that you don't have hyperspace in my world means that ships have to jump out of fast as light, which means that they become vulnerable to the pirate ships. But if they had hyperspace, they could just jump from A to B without having to drop out at sea. Pirates wouldn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I have it set up so there's hyperspace highways, which are the monitored ones where non-hyperspace enabled ships can travel. And then there's hyperspace enabled ships. But then there's also just regular space travel. So
he's asking whether they have Borg.
No. You're saying that she's travelling through corridors and whatnot, and I say, yeah, did the Borg make them?
Like the what?
The Borg.
The Borg. What about the Borg?
You don't want to know.
Anyway, there's one of the background details of how they get in and out to planets where they're not supposed to be, like they're supposed to get through checkpoints and stuff, is through using the supply chains.
Yeah.
So they'll go in under the guise of being a supply ship, which can't be delayed. Otherwise, the entire planet runs out of supplies. If you've got billions and billions of people crammed onto a metropolitan planet where there's not much other than city surfacing the entire planet, if you break down the chain of supply, everyone's going to die within like a week. Because they'll run out of food, they'll run out of fuel, they'll run out of everything. It's so heavily dependent on the supply chains being regular that like they can sneak in to those chains pretending to be couriers and like
a lot is except like I have at one point legal colonies rely heavily on their mainframes to police the ships that are landing. So it's very easy for them to hack the mainframe, steal a landing permit, and land as a legitimate ship. Actually, easy for them to land at a colony or a space station that isn't legal because they physically come and look at the ship.
Yeah.
They have someone standing there on the docks going, That's not the ship that's on the docking roster, where they go, here's a little extra for your time, mate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But but when it's illegal, like, because when it's legal and they've got everything that works, and they just assume that if a ship is saying that it's carrying supplies for this, that it is the ship that's carrying supplies.
Yeah, because
And
if they stop to search every ship, search every ship, riots start happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's the perfect environment to be exploited by pirates, really. So I have the supply chains are also not necessarily hyperspaced. There'll be like big freight ships that are probably hyperspaced enabled ships, but they're not going through the highways because they've got the trains they'll be within the local system rather than going to a different
to me that's more a regular trade route where the information to run that route is constantly updated. So it would be very easy just to go land somewhere, say, I'm going on that trade route. Oh, here's the information you need. Boom, you're gone.
Yeah.
If you're trying to go somewhere unusual, you have to rely on your ship and potentially finding someone who's done the run themselves or something to get the information.
Yeah. And then you've got sort of like space stations and whatever, similar to, I was watching some random sci-fi show that was on SBS, and when I say sci-fi I mean like the US channel called Sci-Fi, because it was like a sort of it was the Vagrant Queen or something like that. Anyway, they had like a space station on that I really liked. So like space stations where anyone can really dock and no one's really checking unless the law enforcement people show up and like, hey, why aren't you checking for criminals and stuff? Because they're basically, most of their trade is criminals.
Well, see, when I have, like, obviously Cirrus, which is one of the main space stations, which is the largest illegal trading space station effectively in the sector, if not the universe. The whole reason people are checking the ships is because the harbour master is entitled to a percentage of everything you bring in.
Yeah.
So there's a reason for them to check every ship and make sure that you're not trying to smuggle goods on and off the station without giving the harbour master his cut. Because his cut...
No one's better at finding criminals than another criminal.
Exactly. But their cut keeps the station running. If the station stops working, what happens? Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've been having fun chatting here. We are going to have to call it a night soon. So what are your plans for 2022?
My plan is to just hope for the best and work out what the fuck to do if shit goes wrong. I have like a lot of stuff scheduled and all that, and now it's just a matter of like hoping that things don't get cancelled. I can deal with limitations, but like cancellations will really fuck things up.
I honestly think there will have to be a serious issue for them to lock us down. I really do. But because we do live in the land of lockdown, there is that certain amount of anxiety sitting in the back of the brain going, what's happened before?
Yeah.
What happened before?
I think they're going to base it off of hospitalization rates rather than cases now.
Yeah. If the hospitals start screaming, then they're going to be, we've got to understand. Yes. We're getting the quote from the start of Armageddon now. But yes. Yeah, so I want to, in January, the reason I'm ending Vlognarok early is because I want to focus in January on I want to get the Vendetta draft that I'm working on finished, and I want to do another draft of Descent, and I can't do that if I'm spending an hour every day editing videos. It just can't. So
you keep saying early, but I'm also like, I only ever plan to go the 24th of December.
I was planning on going to the 30th of January. I was planning on going to the end of January. So for me, I'm ending early.
I was like, to the end of the project, or the end of Vlogmas, or when I give up, whichever comes first.
Yeah.
And giving up came first.
Well, mine was to try to get the end of these two, get the end of this Vendetta one and the end of Descent done again. Don't have the time.
I don't know if you can hear the music in the background.
I can sort of hear something.
It's definitely copyrighted, I think. So that's probably
so we need to keep talking over it so that it doesn't get pinged. Because that's when it pings.
Yeah.
It pings when you're not talking over it. So to be honest, though, my goals haven't changed much because I'm still only halfway through my year. So I still have a chance to publish Descent before the end of the financial year.
I'll probably do like a full goals video in the next couple of days once I've sat down and thought.
I will too. But just generally speaking, I think, to be honest, at the moment, I don't want to think past January. I just want to say this is what I want to get done in January, and that's it. I do have to get my newsletter started again.
See, I'm hesitant to put a goals video out before I've given work notice, because one of the things that's going to be in that video is like, I'm going to quit my job. And I haven't told them that yet. And I know they know about the channel, and I'm not sure if they watch it or not. So I don't.
Maybe record it, but don't release it until you've given notice, because it doesn't matter if you release it. Doesn't matter if you release it at the end of Jan. I mean,
it would be halfway through January by the time. Yeah. Actually, probably more like the 10th of like the 14th. Yeah, about the 14th of January is like when I'm planning to give them the news. I'm gonna see how next week goes, and if I'm finally on top of things, then I'm gonna ask for an extra day off. I've got an email. I should have done it today, actually. I'm gonna send my boss an email about going back to 4 days a week, because I forgot that I've got all my rehearsals scheduled on Fridays. So that's not great, and we need all of them because they're in the actual theatre, and it's when we get all of the lighting design and stuff done. So I also have to go memorize the entire show now that it's finished. We actually had a rehearsal the other day, and it was the first time we'd done a run that was under time. That was like 50 minutes, and we were just like, fuck yeah.
We did it.
There is like some edits in there that I need to go through and update the script still, which I haven't done. I think Emma actually updated quite a bit of it, and I've got a audio recording, because there was like a whole section where I was like, I'm just going to improv. We got another one. I'm just going to improv this section and cut it down like that, and I did, and it worked quite well.
We must be one of the streaming, because they seem to be targeting tonight. But anyway, what we might do is we might call it there. It's 11-ish. I am ready for bed. I don't think I've seen you in about 10 years.
Never gets old. Saying I'll see you next year.
Oh, painful, isn't it? It is painful. But anyway, guys, thank you all for watching Vlognarok. Whereupon most of the videos have been me whinging about how tired I was. But
look, I did have quite a few at the start. Technical difficulties, inception.
But streams will continue next year. I'm definitely going to be doing Whiskey Wednesdays and Scotch Sundays, because they might be the only time I get writing done for some time, particularly after I go back to work. I am probably going to take a bit of a break from YouTube other than lives, just to sit down and think about what I actually want to be spending my time recording. So,
Yeah. I haven't
So is it
posted all of December.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably do.
Might
I'll
try
probably
and
do
get something
January.
out tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't need a break. I just need to sit down and actually just sort of reassess, think about what I actually want to put up. Because obviously, come February when I'm back at work, time's going to be even more limited. So,
Yeah.
okay, guys, anything you want to plug before we head off?
I'll definitely have a video out in the next couple of days, so stay tuned for that. Ridiculous nonsense, whatever form it takes. I really need to bulk film some stuff while I'm here, and then I can edit over January and sort of slow release them while I'm super busy. What else is there? If you're in Melbourne, come see my show, provided we don't get cancelled. Feel free to book tickets too, because
Link below.
if it does get cancelled, you'll just get a full refund. So, no loss there. It's already happened twice. We're well versed in this structure. And what else have I got going on?
Well, I would say, while you're thinking, please buy some notebooks from Vengeance Publishing, because we might have to get our aircon fixed.
Yes. I was like,
And that's not going to be cheap.
Oh, yeah, no, Mum wanted to look at air conditioning units too.
Yeah, two young babies at home and 40-degree days. Yeah, we need aircon.
Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Yes. So, or go to Redbubble and buy a cup. That's always good.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll say that's it. Say good night. Have a great New Year's, guys. Stay safe wherever you are. And we shall see you in the new year. Bye.